All right, it's Tuesday. It's the Rundown. It is June 27th. It is brought to you by Movement Watches. MVMT.com/rundown. MVMT.com/rundown. Get 15% off, free shipping and returns at department stores. Watches like these, they retail for $400 to $500. For Movement Watches, you get them for just $95. Again, MVMT.com/rundown. 15% off. Pat McAfee in town for how long?
3 hours. Those Movement watches are so incredible.
What do you mean 3 hours?
3 hours, man. Yeah.
You're gone? Nowhere.
Stamford, Connecticut. I'm on the TV, Dave. I'm on the TV.
Big shot.
Yeah. I'm on the
What are they
TV.
doing in Stanford? What network is that?
That's NBC Sports Network up there. Why is everybody in Connecticut, by the way? Is there a big tax break up there?
Well, it's just expensive in New York.
Barstool Sports is here, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What are you doing
We're
on
not gonna be
NBC
in Connecticut.
Sports?
Pro football talk.
Oh, okay.
7 to
oh,
9
it
a.m.
was got the whole gang.
Yeah. There's so many rules
Orioles.
on the internet, on TV.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's bad. It's a mental
It does.
obstacle every single sentence not to say anything, really.
No, Florio's become a very. He's
Diehard.
he's in the inner circle. We stayed at his house.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
He's got a great house.
He even DMs me time
Yeah.
to time.
He's the one who sent the guy to ask Kamish the question
Yeah,
about why
No,
Buffalo-
Florio's
yeah.
the
Florio's,
best.
Yeah. But I think he has beef with McShay.
He might. Florio's one of those guys that, and I mean, it's kind of everyone on the internet's like, coming up, you had to take shots to get your name out there.
Somebody it has to stick
So
with.
he had to take some shots. I don't know if the beef
That's what
is
Clay's
real
doing
or
with
not.
you.
I got to clarify whether he has beef with McShay, because if you have beef with McShay, then I got to be a McShay guy. Then I can't be a Florio guy.
You got to pick teams.
But you should see his house. It's nice.
You should see NBC
McShay's
Sports.
back,
Center.
by the way, for the Combine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that'll be good. Anyways, into the subjects. I guess I'm so sick of the NBA. I don't like any hot stove, but the NBA rumor mill is especially infuriating to me. All this NBA stuff, I can't pay attention to any of it. But here we go, lead story. Cavs fire their GM, David Griffin. And really the story, I guess, LeBron is trying to make it very clear that he had nothing to do with this, to the point, like he's saying, I supported him, pointing the finger at Dan Gilbert. I don't believe anything LeBron says. I just refuse, and I know Dan Gilbert, people are like, he's stupid. He's not this stupid. Nobody's this stupid. LeBron runs that team. I cannot believe he had nothing to do with this. Big Cat, we'll start with you.
I can't. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, that this is like has LeBron's fingerprints all over it. But Dan Gilbert is kind of this stupid.
Is
he's
he?
the guy. Yeah, he uses Comic Sans. He basically told LeBron like he's never welcome back in Cleveland.
But that was like spur of the moment anger.
Yeah, but that's pretty fucking stupid. Like, that's pretty stupid.
I would do something like that in the heat of the moment, for sure.
I think it's pretty clear
Yeah,
that
burn
Dan
a bridge down real quick.
Well, if
I would
if you
too.
felt you got wronged, like, just take the Comic
Right,
Sans
but-
and write that. And, like, he almost did it like magazine style, like different letters and shit.
But Dan Gilbert and LeBron do not get along.
I
like,
agree with
LeBron
that.
came back
Agree.
in spite of him.
Totally.
So I wonder the only
this is an out for LeBron.
right. No, but here's
easy
the
as
thing.
that.
Here's the thing. The only there's two scenarios here. It's what Dave said, LeBron's fingerprints all over it, or it's basically Dan Gilbert being like, I'm gonna start making the first moves because I know you're already out.
Yeah, this is an out
You know
for
what I
LeBron,
mean?
for sure. He wants to go
you
somewhere
really
else.
think, do we really think he's still going to leave Cleveland again?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I hope that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
do.
I hope that happens.
I mean, if they
that
get-
would be like...
All the fires to the jerseys again.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna-
Well,
we
I don't
get
know.
down
I
this
don't know that Cleveland would do that. I don't know what the Cleveland people would do.
Because they're mad at Dan Gilbert.
Because they
now.
have
He's
that
fl-
one flag.
Right.
And that flies forever. And it's like.
And if you burn
Yeah,
that,
it
you
does.
kind of got to burn the flag.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that it definitely would be a different feeling. But if Paul George goes to Cleveland, then LeBron is good as gone.
That's only a
Because
one-year
Paul-
deal.
Right. And Paul George is gone.
And then they'll go together to
Right.
like LA.
LA.
Right.
With LeVar Ball. And
Maverick
God
Carter.
damn it, big baller boys are happening all of a
Right.
sudden.
And Maverick Carter's got like 17 blockbuster summer movies that he's going to be in.
I like your...
You have
the
socks
guy who
on?
sits in the seat here, I hate. You have to wear socks, right?
Do you have
No,
socks
I don't
on?
wear socks.
So
That's
how?
gross.
Because
Because your shoes are going to stink.
No,
exactly.
you just spray them. It's 2017. They got
Spray 'em with
technology.
what?
What are you
There's like
talking about?
anti.
No.
Guys, yeah.
If I wear shoes without socks just to walk my dog
Once.
down the street,
That
they're
New
gone.
York is a whole different animal. I don't know. I'm not normally a part of this type of ISIS heat and
It
walk.
looks good. I wish I could go no sub, but then
It's
you
a
need
ballsy
365 pairs of sneakers
Right.
or shoes.
Right.
Because
Which
literally,
I wouldn't put it past Pat.
Listen, I make bad
true.
decisions.
Throw
I
out
make
a new
bad
pair of
decisions
shoes.
every
you
day.
are a bad decision maker.
Yeah, we know that. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's
But
true.
you know what? This one's worked out pretty good, huh?
It's been our
Right?
game.
Huh?
Right.
I still, to go full circle on LeBron, I could see him doing this, and then I don't want people to think I did it, so he went so over the top. He's just such a, I don't know. Here's the thing about Gilbert. I do think he cares about like money and all this shit, and he knows the second LeBron's gone, Cleveland's irrelevant. Irrelevant. So I just don't think he'd do something that in LeBron's face.
Did you see there was some report that like Chauncey Billups might be the new GM, which makes me think that Dan Gilbert really is that dumb and he's just doing random things like that. And I think Griffin was, I might not be 100%, I'm pretty sure Griffin was about to get like his new contract, so he probably wanted more money, and Dan Gilbert was like, bro, you didn't do anything. LeBron did everything.
Yeah, true. That's also true.
So maybe this is a compliment to LeBron, right? Like, hey, GM.
We don't need anybody because LeBron's the GM. But
Yeah, you should just be the GM. Right.
So maybe LeBron
Just have
shouldn't
like
be.
just find like a random assistant in the building,
mean-
be like your GM.
or just name LeBron the GM.
Right, right.
Player, coach, pregame
Everything.
entertainment. Jackie Moon,
Jackie Moon. Good rep.
get the funk out of my face.
This is a story, Big Cat. I think that you said that Pascal Lake, the American tourist, dying in North Korea. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otto.
That's a big North Korea guy.
Yeah, you're a huge North Korea. We talked a little on Barstool Radio. I am so firmly on the fact that I don't want to hear anybody whine about this guy dying, because if you go to North Korea, you start stealing their propaganda posters, he's going to kill you. Like that to me is the most obvious outcome of this. So yeah, it thinks he's dead, but come on, dude, don't go to vacation. The fact that anybody would go to North Korea, you have a death wish.
That's the question. Why is anybody traveling to North Korea? Jim Kong's got that place on full troll patrol. They're all meth heads over there. You know, they're all addicted
that
to
true?
meth. Yeah, North Korea's all addicted to meth.
Wow.
The government gives them
Where do you
meth.
come up with that?
Facts.
That's
Are
actually
you friends with Rodman? I feel like you're someone who
I
would
tried
be like,
so hard. I want to go over there so bad with Rodman because I just want to become in with Jim Kong just so I can meet him, you know, because this guy is the biggest troll on earth.
wait, the meth thing, that's genius, because
Yeah,
then
he
no
keeps-
one has to eat.
Yeah. And nobody has to eat. They don't sleep. They don't need the internet, which they don't have. And they all need the drugs from the government, which is what Jim Kong does over there. But you should definitely not vacation.
You're very pro-American, but you seemingly agree this guy deserved what he got.
No, I don't think you should die. That's a war crime.
How's that a war crime?
Because it's basically he was a prisoner of war, a hostage almost. Because
What prisoner of war?
Yeah, we never ended our war with Korea. We can get deep in this. It was just a ceasefire. So as an American, as a prisoner over
That's
there.
even
It's like
more.
halftime.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, just take a break for a while. Yeah, we all just took a ceasefire.
It's even more reason than not to go on
go
vacation there.
Never vacation in a place where we're still at war.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, the kid didn't deserve to die. and
No,
I
absolutely not.
feel bad for his family, but he's putting like America in a bad spot too, because
yeah, he is.
you're probably going to get killed if you go to North Korea. Now we have to do something,
You
right?
can't. I would be so mad
Jim
if
Kong will
this
kill
is
himself.
why we go to war, because some idiot went on vacation there and stole a poster.
Is that what he did?
Jim Kong
stole a poster.
propaganda. They have a video of it. He just ripped it off.
man.
That's what I'm saying.
Big poster.
He murdered his brother for posting too much on Facebook. If
LOL.
you steal,
A girl was wearing an LOL shirt that murdered
or
him.
that murdered him.
Yeah.
He's a troll. Jim Kong's a
So
troll.
that's again, this is frowned upon. He did deserve to get murdered.
Oh boy,
I don't know if he. I mean,
that's a tough take.
it's just don't steal a poster. That's the
In
crazy
North
part.
Korea.
Yeah.
Listen,
Go
I
look.
couldn't- no,
Look. Don't touch.
But if we were to go to North Korea, this is why we shouldn't go to North Korea.
By the way-
we would definitely take a propaganda poster. It's over there.
You definitely would.
Definitely. Jim Kong
And-
standing there like this.
And when I say
Yeah.
deserve, it's like, Dan, I use the analogy
Expected,
of my blog.
not deserved.
If expected. If you
Expected, yeah.
If you're one of those
Expected, not
guys
deserved.
who's like, I'm going to swim across the ocean,
Yeah.
there's a pretty good chance.
No, that's my point about like he putting America in a pretty bad spot, because when the guy swims across the ocean, a boat has to go. Fucking the Coast Guard has to go and save his ass. Now
deserve
we
isn't-
have to do something.
Expected is the
Right.
word.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Expected is the word. And I'm not going to cry for. It's like no shit.
Right, you're not shocked. No one
Right.
here is shocked.
Like
Right.
you're not going to vacation in Syria.
Correct.
Yeah, good idea by the way, not to do that.
Correct.
Just knock that one off the list.
Super slow day, by the way. So we got some interesting subject with Zuckerberg. Something came out today on his life, and it's just Zuckerberg. Is Zuckerberg like the richest human now?
Amazon's got to be up there.
I don't know if he's richest, but he's definitely most powerful because he controls the media.
Oh,
He does. So here's his day. He wakes up at 8 a.m. He exercises. He walks his dog. He wears no clothes. He spends 60 hours a week still working on Facebook. My question, I'll pose this
Coding?
to you.
like, is he going to those little like
He-
big
when he-
social
when-
networks?
yeah.
Yeah.
Would you
It's interesting.
want to be Zuckerberg? Would you?
I'd want me to
With
be-
my brain, yeah.
No, you're trading lives with Zuckerberg. You're Zuckerberg.
No way.
I mean, this is
Nope.
Mark Zuckerberg is the answer to the question like, what do people who don't watch sports do, right? Like that's all he does. He's like, I'm learning Mandarin and reading 2 books a week. It's like, what?
He is learning.
How
he is
this-
learning Mandarin.
How do you have time for all this shit? Like, 7 o'clock, the games are on, and that's the night. It's so weird. It always fascinates me when I meet someone who's like, I don't like any
What do you do
sports.
on that?
What do you do?
What do you
What do you
do?
do in the fall, like on
Church?
Saturday and Sunday?
The perfect
you just,
example
like, walk
is,
around?
and I've been on
They
and
code.
off.
They code.
It's crazy.
When I'm gambling,
Right.
It's the days, the weeks. I've been betting baseball, and it's just every day, every week, every month is a blur. And then I
Well-
stop. It's like I just twiddle my thumbs. It's like this is weird.
Right, and it's just a constant like waiting till first
Zuckerberg-
pitch. You just
Zuckerberg's-
that's
Yeah,
hours
yeah.
in between first pitch.
And then when it's first pitch,
Yeah.
the game's like, poof,
Yeah,
it's
boom.
over.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg's constantly twiddling his thumbs.
And the thing about Zuckerberg too, and Facebook in general, like they're always doing new stuff. They want to become like a little bit like Netflix, have custom content. It's like when is enough
a
enough?
marketplace. They're like an eBay.
well, I think the answer is I would imagine Zuckerberg's probably going to eventually run for president, right?
No, that's what everybody's saying. But I guess
Zuckerberg's gonna run for president.
I mean, he
Everybody's
controls the media. He could just throw out a bunch of fake
Isn't he
news.
universally though like people like he's kind of an asshole?
No,
is
that's
that
just
just a
'cause
I mean, I
social
think
network?
he's just, yeah, I think he's just
The Winklevoss
a little
twins.
weird. Right.
oh, I hate them, by the way.
Who likes the
They're the worst. How do you have 2 villains in the same movie fighting each other?
the
That's what social-
Winklevoss twins are maybe like the best real life villains who ever
Yeah,
lived.
that
Yeah.
Francis needs to play up that. Like Francis is kind of a
Francis
mini
is a Winklevoss.
Yeah, a little
Winklevoss.
like a mini Winklevoss.
Yeah,
If
the
he
Winklevoss,
played that up
yeah.
more and
Yeah.
just like the villain
He
angle.
doesn't even have to play it up because
Yeah.
he just comes across as a pure villain.
He does appear to be a Winklevoss.
Yeah,
He is.
he's a mini Winklevoss.
He's dressed like super Winklevossian
He
today
says
too.
things that are very Winklevoss.
Yeah,
The eighth
without knowing
best
it.
Sport, right.
So much Harvard stuff.
Right,
Oh.
right.
Like, do you row, bro? Like, that's something he'd ask.
Underrated, like one of the things that's kind of like gone unsaid, but like Riggs has totally gotten like ruined as the Harvard guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because like
Well,
he,
Riggs
he
was
is
never.
like Francis is our Harvard guy. He is Harvard.
Riggs never came across as the Harvard.
a
Right.
golf
He's
guy.
just a regular guy who
Yeah.
went to Harvard.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
a good guy.
Right.
Riggs is the guy who may lie about going to Harvard, where like the other guy.
Yeah,
Did
it's like
Riggs
you
go
see
to
him you're
Harvard?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're 100%.
But he was our Harvard guy, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Riggs the Harvard guy." And then Francis came in, and Francis like is John Harvard.
We've actually had 3 Harvard guys. The first 2 did not come across as Harvard.
Oh,
Tommy,
yeah.
Tommy Lights,
Yeah,
Zolo.
Zolo.
Tommy Lights was a Harvard guy. Did not come across as a Harvard guy. Riggs was a Harvard guy. Does not come across. And then
Yeah,
Mr.
then we
Harvard
hit it
came
out of the
through.
park with our third Harvard guy.
super Harvard
It's-
guy.
oh my
Third
God.
guy. The
We
first guy, he
fucking
quit or
nailed it.
Quit?
Yeah, he quit.
What's he doing
He
now?
had like all these ideas. He was like the ideas guy that all of his ideas basically were like, I want to leverage everything Dave's built for my own profit.
Yeah.
He's like, all right,
I think he
Not a
tried.
bad Harvard plan.
Tommy Lights tried to buy Barstool at one point. He did. He literally did.
But I remember you like tell me once, you're like, yeah, I pitched this idea, like he's gonna create this music platform that's
Yep.
basically on Barstool,
Yeah,
and
he
we
did.
don't get any of the money.
Yeah, he did. He did that. Tommy Lights did that. Tommy Lights also like said we could use his dad's like car or something for the blackout tour, and it would lug it, and we were like ready to drive like. And 2 minutes before the tour started, he's like, I can't use the car anymore. And me and Paul, the fastest negotiation, we went to a car dealership and just paid sticker price in like 1 second. We're like, we'll take that car, and just gave the money and went away because we had no car.
So the first Harvard guy tried
Tommy Lights.
tried
Yeah.
to buy you.
His Harvard education, what he used, he just learned a program that he could just hit the lights and they'd like flash to the music.
Yeah.
And that was,
He's
he
an
just,
EDM
Is that
guy.
Christmas lights? Because that's a good idea. I love those.
It was
houses.
sort of.
The
We
houses
put him
that have
in.
those Christmas lights
We,
are the
we
best.
literally put him in an astronaut suit, and he was just Tommy Lights. He just sit in the corner and smash the lights. Tommy Lights. Oh man.
Harvard.
Oh,
Harvard
yeah.
is creating these geniuses.
But we nailed it. We finally, third time's a charm.
You got a Winklevoss.
Yeah, I don't even know where
I
he
think
is.
he's downstairs.
He's
but
dressed up like
we get him on for the after show.
Justin
Someone go
Bieber.
grab him.
got a good look today.
Or no one?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he was wearing like
there we go.
capri white. He looked like he just came off like the shores of.
It's a very Bieber
like
look to them.
Capri
He's like
or
played
something.
lacrosse. He's Harvard. You
He's
see him
very
and you're
Harvard.
like, that's Harvard.
Yep.
That was actually my favorite quote. At some point, he was mad that he was getting disrespected. He's like, "I played Division I lacrosse."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fucking Winklevoss.
Yeah, no, Nate said the other day when they were going at it, it was hilarious. Nate was like, when they did the rundown together, Nate was like, you scored at least 2 goals in college lacrosse. And he's like, I scored 8 goals. And Nate's like, I said at least 2 goals.
8 goals in his 4 years?
Yeah.
Well, aren't lacrosse games like 21 to...
They're high scoring.
Yeah.
They're high scoring. These ice cream photos, slow day. So Arod, he's on vacation with Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, and they did the pose that I love. I've only really noticed this pose once before. It's one of my all-time go-to photos. John Henry, owner of the Red Sox, Dr. Creepy, and his wife, Linda Pizzuti, when they were like first profile, Boston Magazine, and they're like just both eating ice cream cones, like posed.
Love.
It is the most prototypical. We don't really like each other, so we're gonna pose with ice cream. And then A-Rod and J-Lo, just very recently, same exact pose. Now I am convinced this is the #1 pose. Hey, everyone knows we're not really in love. This may be a sham. Let's get the ice cream cones and pose. A-Rod Corp is your guy.
He is my guy. I mean, you can't tie him down. We already know this. He was sexting with other people, like off. You know, he was paying for sex while he's dating J-Lo.
He also had those Amazon women.
Yeah,
in the
he's
trees.
closing deals.
What?
No
What?
joke. In 15 years doing Barstool,
Yeah.
that may have been the weirdest scene that we've
A-Rod is a
encountered.
fascinating guy. He was basically had like a phase where he was just into like bodybuilding women.
And they were all in his trees.
Yeah, and they were like
at
not-
his house in his compound.
Yeah.
In like, there were just like she-males like in his trees.
It was wild.
What do you mean? Like living in his
He's a
tree?
fascinating dude. But either way,
Are they living in his tree?
yeah, I don't know. A-Rod's like, I don't question him. He's one
gotta
of my
dig up that
bosses.
photo. They're
There's
just
she-males living in A-Rod's trees?
yes.
Didn't J-Lo's ex like cheat on her with
I get J-Lo and Mariah Carey mixed up all
That's
the
a
time.
fair
Yeah,
mix.
Nick
always,
Cannon.
all the time. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and that happened on Wild and Out when
Yeah.
someone said they like fucked her on like what, you know that show Wild and Out where you
Yeah.
talk trash. Someone
Wild
talk trash. Wild in Out.
In
Wild and Out.
Good show. I used to
Wild and
watch
Out.
it.
No D.
It's
I don't
back.
think. Oh, it is. Either way, do you think A-Rod expensed all his trips onto A-Rod Corp cards?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got it. Business.
That's what you do as a small
Yeah.
business owner.
Little trip to Paris.
Whenever you're dating J-Lo and getting publicity, that is a business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Do you think they love each other?
No.
That's the whole ice cream photo.
I think
Once
they
you
do.
go ice
I'm
cream,
gonna
you
say
think they love each
I'm
other?
gonna say no.
I think they love each I think J-Lo and A-Rod don't love themselves enough. They love each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Perfect
I don't
match.
know.
I think this is J-Lo's nice bounce back. What's that? What's that picture?
I mean, that's one sheet.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000.
Yeah,
What do
there
you
were a
mean
couple
that's
just
one?
all in his backyard.
Scroll up and down.
Yeah, they're all in his backyard.
They were literally
look at
like in the trees and shit.
They were all like, yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
So his boys just wild. They're doing cartwheels around him.
His boys. Well, they're girls, but yeah. Yeah, that's A-Rod. A-Rod's done some really crazy shit. Kevin did a great podcast like about A-Rod's entire career. He's a fascinating dude.
This one girl is going full Tarzan.
Yeah, no, there was a bunch of them in the trees.
for A-Rod.
Last story. So this guy, and this is a Pittsburgh story. You're a Pittsburgh guy. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh that this makes the news, but it did, and we're talking about it. So a guy wanted to drill a hole in his wall to put a TV outlet, and he couldn't figure out where to drop the drill. So what he did was he put an alarm clock on a rope, put the alarm clock behind the wall, so when it went off, he'd know this is where you drill the hole. The alarm clock fell off the rope, has lived behind the wall, and has been going off for basically 13 years straight. And this was like headline news in Pittsburgh.
Jerry Lynn says he dropped the clock, tied to a string, through an air vent. Set to go off 10 minutes later, it would let him know where to punch a hole in the living room wall to pass a wire through for a TV hookup.
As I was laying it down, all of a sudden I heard it go thunk as it came loose. And, well, that's not a real problem. You know, it's still going to go off, and it did.
Starts with a soft beep, 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 and it gets louder and more closer together. And that will set people like, what is that?
You might say, all in all, it's just another clock in the wall.
So they didn't hear it because it was behind the wall. Then
No, they hear it.
No, they hear it.
For 13 years?
Yeah, it
Still,
goes off.
currently.
Same time. It was like 10 of 8 or 10 of 7, depending on daylight savings.
That is incredible.
Currently.
Yeah.
And
Why don't they drill another hole?
That was a fair question.
You know, though, I was thinking about this, and that was my initial reaction. But then I thought about it more, and like, I'm a pretty lazy guy. I think I just live with it.
How did this make the news?
Does it turn off itself? Like, don't alarm
Yeah,
clocks
yeah,
have
yeah.
to stop?
Yeah.
Don't you have to stop them?
No.
I think it's an old school
Yeah,
alarm
it's like
clock. and
13
it's just
years.
Set. And they're like, yeah, we thought the batteries would go out after a few months.
Yeah,
and
it just hasn't.
Is that the most impressive battery on
Yeah,
Earth?
right.
Is that not a commercial
Yeah,
yet?
they do.
But-
They need a sponsorship.
That should be a sponsor.
How did this become news? I always sometimes wonder that.
I
like,
mean,
That's the
they
world we're
called the
living
news
in.
stations like, "Yo, we got an alarm clock for 13
No,
years."
this is what happened. They had a son, and that son was partying with his one friend. That guy slept at the house. That guy works for the news, or
Yeah.
his mom works for the news,
Yeah.
and says, listen to this shit.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Fair enough. I mean, an overall a slow day. I mean, could there have been subjects I didn't pick today? Like,
What?
did you think there were things we missed for this? Like, I had to struggle to get 5 stories today.
No.
Slow day. And
So
A Winklevoss.
there's our Harvard
there's
guy.
the
A
Winklevoss.
You can
Winklevoss
tell.
just
So
showed
have
up.
you met Pat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right.
What's up?
We were just
Incredible to meet you.
explaining that you
guys
are
are almost wearing-
Harvard through and through.
Very similar looking sneakers.
What are you wearing? What shoes are those?
These are the Yeezy Adidas Boost V2s in all white.
How much were those?
I'll get them for retail, $220.
So these are $69.99.
They look very similar.
A
Yeah.
lot of people say I make bad decisions.
No, that's a good one. So there he is.
Yeah, Harvard guy. We were saying that we struck out with our first 2 Harvard guys at Barstool.
Yeah.
And then you
Super
basically are
Harvard
John
guy.
Harvard.
There you go. That's me.
Welcome to the rundown.
Can't say I'm not a Harvard guy.
And then
It would be hard for you not to.
That's right. You guys know. I went there.
post show, we don't have much. We do have the other controversy. This one's not as major, but someone illegally torrented The Wire, and our cable company once again.
Everybody
said-
knows
Pirate
who it
Simon
is.
2.0.
It's that guy.
It's this guy right here.
Who's that guy?
He's
NC State
he's
kid.
so Dave. This is what we got on him. He said, "I don't." Sean, right? Yeah. Oh,
Sean, yeah.
pretty
Hey,
good.
you
Pretty
look
good with
Sean's
that one.
actually a talented dude.
Yeah, Sean is. He's got good. Yeah, he does
Good at torrenting.
Good gifts and shit. So
Maybe.
he says that he's torrented before. He has a history of torrenting. He's living in a dorm this summer. No TV.
And he has.
But it wasn't
torrented-
him.
He has torrented The Wire before.
I don't really care. The person should admit it.
Yeah, the person should come
Why would
forward.
you say that to anybody ever?
Oh, yeah.
Francis, Harvard.
This guy didn't go to Harvard.
We were in a deep Harvard thing. when
Also,
you-
we have
Sorry.
the time when it happened. There's like me on
Hey,
video
Francis.
in,
I don't
in a
believe
meeting
any of
text.
that. I don't believe any of the time stuff. That's the right.
We need to line up all the interns, and basically we got to take all the ones that don't have TV, and then make them a pile, and then. I mean, someone has to say it.
This
Like
one-
they have to know too that they're not going to get in trouble. Like,
So this
I mean,
one-
Yeah, nobody
This is
cares.
what I said
Right.
to him. I said, "How do you torrent or torrent? What is it?"
torrent. It's just like ripping shit.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, you just go to this website,
Dude.
blah blah blah."
Yeah,
First
he
thing,
said-
Yeah, I've done it in the past, but
we need to. We
Like,
need
nobody
to blog
cares.
the pirate.
I wish it was Mike the
I'm
Bike.
just thinking about Pirate Simon. Remember, he deleted all the files on his computer, and was like, "What?"
And it
Like,
came
I-
in with a radically different haircut. Like just changed its whole look.
why is it a big deal? You got yelled at?
It's illegal. So the cable company will be like, we're gonna stop giving you internet if you do that.
Internet company gonna stop
Yeah,
giving
need the
internet.
internet.
None of
NC
you
State.
guys. You're not in trouble. I'll give you $20 if you say it was you
Make it
right now.
make it $25.
Right now, if it actually was you.
Do it. You got the mic in
Billy
your hand.
football?
Just say it.
I know you don't. You didn't do it. Did you? No, yeah, Billy football wouldn't.
What a
do it.
hustle.
Billy football doesn't watch TV.
Mike the Bike.
He's coming fresh off that
That
rap.
rap diss track.
Yeah.
All right, that's the rundown.